The story time continues with Guru next. I am excited to continue the story of the future. And the most important goal of that future is to get some love, right? So far, we have been following our instincts and kind of men doing the dirty work and women doing the dirty work at home, and now the work is kind of over, almost. We can just program our way out. Both of us, both genders can take care of just programming men and women of the past. Basically, everything in the past can be programmed to do the work for us. But what's next then? What's next for our generation then? If we can just remove the past and replace it with robots. Yeah, at the same time, it's like, where am I right now? I watched a YouTube video, Stefan Molyneux talking about friend zone. I thought it was, a trigger for me to talk about friend zone as well. He would definitely give that point that women would seek for resources pretty desperately, and it's still happening today. Although the feelings are mixed up for me. It's like, what are you looking for exactly right now? Right? What are you trying to support with your existence in the first place? Like, what the fuck? That's why there's so much supposed to be depression. Because you do have to question your existence. And who are you supporting when you keep on existing and going with your habits, especially if you are going with your habits? If you watch the video, I put it in a list. I have some playlists, right? There is a song, Get Out of Here and Get Me Some Money Too. Why don't you do it right? Like some other men do. That's the cool, really. You can hear that playing in Fallout, so if that sounds familiar. Get out of here, hey, give me some money too. Why don't you do it right? Like some other men do. So, that's the question, right? There is no more right, because there's no more survival. We're already good as we are. We are good. I don't have to overwork, and I can also say, go work too. It's similar work, you just clean stuff for someone else. You don't have to clean the home, necessarily. So that's what you get paid for. You get paid for your past instincts, kind of. Now, okay, so women clean and perhaps men do some physical work, replace a few robots until they're built. A big deal, right? There's a lot of other crap that people do, but this is kind of like the entertainment, the front line, something that we shouldn't focus on and think that it's reality. It's so interesting how the world kind of masks itself a little bit from how awful it is into trying to be clean and nice and all that crap. Well, whatever. So, the future, right? What does that mean for searching for that one specific thing? also not one specific thing. I have to like move from one point to the other, grab all the things that I want from life. So is there anything? I always constantly say that, yeah, I want to go do programming because there's so much fun to be had, actually. It's like, wow. At the same time, I'm not gonna share it anymore. It's like, you guys don't deserve that shit. You guys aren't haters enough. So just passively sitting there, you're not gonna know which video is gonna be where I'm gonna post my stupid game, if there is any. And there will be many. I mean, I make promises and I fail on these promises, but I know there's gonna be a lot of fun to be had. I'm just stuck right now. AdventureCraft was success just because I had so much fucking fun. Ridiculous. That was incredibly cool experience, which I basically worship at this at this point. 7 years later, my mind just kind of started appreciating really badly how the absence of AdventureCraft. I mean, if you guys know any program that still does shit, which would be fun, and that shit can be shared as experience for someone else to tell a story, and that's a big deal. I don't want to spend too much time looking for it, though. Might as well get entertained and do my own thing. It's not a big deal. The big deal is just kind of following the rules. So I leave that to other people as well. So, the friend zone. Let's do that. Should I avoid friend zone in the future, or shouldn't I? Also, what is the definition in the first place? It's kind of weird. The friend zone. Welcome to the friend zone. I treated friend zone as a safety measure where women just put men into a position where they are rejected. But this is impossible to do. It is impossible to make an unbreakable wall. This is what people have to fucking figure out by now. If you want to make a wall with infinity amount of strength, you gotta put infinity amount of energy. Everything can be defined by genuine amount of money, right? Of value. I don't treat money as trash. And I don't treat it as gold. You should treat it as genuine value of just trying to connect. So, don't invest in gold, guys. Just don't do it. What the fuck are you doing? Bitcoin is pretty cool. Because it really represents genuine connection. Like, decentralization of Bitcoin is fascinating. The way it works. If you can find out there some videos of how Bitcoin works, just fucking consume that shit. Because the way this decentralization works is just puts value on care. And so there are these miners for Bitcoin that basically care for legitimacy of transactions. So whenever some kind of transaction comes, the miner is going to check if it's correct. And that's what's important. Whoever cares more will be more trustworthy. If a miner cares more, and there will be more miners versus I mean stronger minors versus weak people who have to constantly care as well. I mean, transaction is a small thing and a miner can quickly check that. That's what they do. They just check the transactions if they are legit. That's pretty cool. That's how decentralization kind of works, apparently. Although, in a most simplest of terms, if you imagine there's a system that everyone has the brain, and if you can connect these, I mean, everyone has it, that means it's decentralized. The connection part is the next step. But if someone like steals your brain, your effort, that is a monopolization. And a lot of it is going on right now. Another point from Stefan Molyneux's videos is taking benefit from strangers. That has been a really easy notice for me. How important it is, though, it's ridiculous. You can just backstab any unknowing person. Every single person has to have decentralized knowledge to defend themselves. They have to know the morality. Otherwise, they can be stabbed in the back anytime by the evil people. So this is another reason why we kind of need friends, because they know certain moral things that we don't know. They can protect us in certain ways that we can't. So this is also helpful for dealing with insecurities as well. Everything is connected basically that way. So in the future, the friend zone, the rejection. Do you want to be in the rejection list? Well, it is impossible. It is immoral to do impossible things as well. If friend zone is the definition of, you're never gonna be that guy, which no woman can actually declare. So friend zone doesn't exist as a definition of you're completely rejected 100%. That is impossible. Now, unintention to be rejected, you can still treat it that way. That's cool. But it's almost like it doesn't have value then. It's like, whatever. What's the matter of that? It's like, okay, you are rejected. You're not on the main list. Okay. I guess that's the true definition. I'm not sure how people treat it. Actually, we should have to research that, actually. Actually. Alright, we'll have to research, but even though, I know the basic definition then. It's just, you're not on the main list, you're on a secondary list, but you should still not give up. I'm not sure, I'll have to look at the Naruto story, how it's gonna play out. Sakura is not in the main list of Sasuke. Hinata is not on the main list of Naruto. Naruto is not on the main list for Sakura. What is gonna change? What is the real value here? Because I said in the Naruto's fanfiction story that time is a good way to know if you should choose that person. You have to define the moment where you make the choice, and you just simply say, which person do I know the best? That's it. So yeah, it's actually, I'll have to like really well figure out how it is. So for the next episode, oh, we finally can do that shit. For the next episode, I'm gonna figure out and explain how do you make these lists, how do you evaluate how much time you spent, how well you know these people, blah blah blah. For me personally, I don't have to deal with anything because I don't have any single person to care about. So, congratulations, Gurnext. That is just for the further future. Right now, I just have to figure out how to bother people into giving me attention. Really? Is that what it comes down to? What a crazy shit. Well, as long as I'm telling my story, people can just jump in anytime they want. I'll just tell my story over and over again. It will get better and better. So, it depends on how good you want the story to be, to jump in, hate on me a little bit. Because I'm here dealing with real problems here. Real problems. Not... it's tough. Real problems are tough. And I don't want to focus on flashy things, on editing. We have to make a story real fast right now. And so far I have the voice and a lot of choices that can come from my mouth. And that somehow has to tell a story nicely. Ugh, tough. Let's see how it goes, man. Should game making ever impact my ability to connect with other people? Well, here's the thing, it's interesting. It might be useful to do so. What are you gonna talk about next time? Connection, friend zone, all this management of other people. Alright, guys.